Hi everyone, welcome back to Beyond Your Knowledge. So hopefully we have been learning a lot. So today we're going to be talking about pancreatic enzymes. Okay, so we're going to just give some examples of the pancreatic enzyme, how they work, and if there is any mutation in any of those. Okay, so I'm going to go very deep in some of those, but we're going to just have some hints in some important points in this video. Okay, so before we continue, let's just read Romans 13:10 to receive some encouragement, and read as follows: love does no wrong to a neighbor, therefore love is the fulfilling of the law. Well, this is true, so we need to love each other. Okay, now pancreatic enzymes, I think that is very important topic. So before we continue, let me just show a picture of the part of the gastrointestinal system. So basically when we eat, so what happened? The food come through the mouth go through the esophagus and then to your stomach. So food is traveling. Now it's in your stomach. They're going to have the gastric juices, all of the things with the gastric, H. chloride. Okay, so everything. Then after that, so it's going to enter into duodenum. Okay, so one time enter into duodenum, so duodenum, that is going to have another process. So what's going to happen? So here into duodenum you have release of different hormones and different substances. Okay, but now, and remember that the duodenum should be more basic pH, okay, while the stomach is more acidic pH. Okay, so now one time you're in the duodenum, you release hormones and other substances, but there are some pancreatic enzymes. So the pancreatic enzyme, like the word says, come from the pancreas, okay, which is right here. Okay, now this pancreas is going to join this duct, and then you have the pancreatic duct. Okay, the pancreatic duct that comes from the pancreas, and then the other bile duct that comes from the gallbladder. Okay, now they are going to one time they join, they go to secrete the things that come from the pancreas or from the gallbladder into the duodenum here. Okay, sorry, I shouldn't. Yep. Yeah. One time you release those, so now we're going to mention some of those. So one of those that we're going to mention is trypsinogen. Okay, now let's just see how that works. So trypsinogen come here. Okay, so and then we're going to open a new slide, and we're going to draw better, or we're going to show again the pictures. Okay, so but now smaller. Yeah, so right there, bro, is fine. Yeah, so you come here. Okay, so which one is this one? Yeah, so come trypsinogen. Okay, and we're going to start with trypsinogen, then we're going to move to another one. I'm going to go to this area here. Okay, but imagine that we are still working in the duodenum. Okay, just to have a big picture of what we are going to do. Okay, duodenum. Now trypsinogen comes from there. Okay, then this trypsinogen is going to be trypsin. But how trypsinogen is going to be trypsin? Let's just figure it out. So if you have a conversion from one to another, so you need a what? You need an enzyme. You are right. So what is the enzyme that is going to convert trypsinogen to trypsin? So enteropeptidase. Okay, so the enzyme is enteropeptidase. Okay, so remember, A is enzyme. Okay, now enteropeptidase, but where can we find this enteropeptidase? So this enteropeptidase is found in the brush border. Okay, brush border. Got it? Now, in the brush border. Well, now let's just, do you remember trypsin is here that come from the trypsinogen when enteropeptidase that is in the brush border activate and convert trypsinogen to trypsin? Yes. Let's just leave alone trypsin for now. Now let's just come back again to the secretion from the pancreas. So that is one more substance. So actually, yeah, so there is going to be another substance that is going to be released from the pancreas. And I'm going to do here another arrow. Okay, hopefully we have room there. So this one is called chemotrypsinogen. Okay, chemotrypsinogen. Okay, so chemotrypsinogen procarboxypeptidase proelastase. Okay, so carboxypeptidase, which is another enzyme. Okay, and one more enzyme, proelastase. Now we can figure out, you know, proelastase. So elastate, elastin, procarboxypeptidase has probably carboxy group with a peptide group with the enzyme, and chemotrypsinogen. Well, all of those, now what they're going to do, well, all those we're going to do something, because we may need some more room here, and probably we don't have, yeah, let's figure it out. Yeah, so this should go to give you a result of, okay, yeah, so follow the arrow, so you go here. Okay, who is there? Trypsin. Okay, so, and remember that trypsin came from trypsinogen. Okay, so now you have here again this one, trypsin. Now this, just follow the arrow. Yeah, so this one now go to give us a product. So, and here we can have room for the product. And who asked who or what is that? So it's going to be chemotrypsin carboxypeptidase elastase. Okay, so again, chemotrypsin, because get the trypsin from the trypsinogen. Which is chemotrypsin. First was chemotrypsinogen, but now it's chemotrypsin, and then the other one is carboxypeptidase. Okay, and then the last one is elastase. So one time go through trypsin. It's not anymore chemotrypsinogen, now it's chemotrypsin, and it's not anymore carboxypeptidase, procarboxypeptidase, carboxypeptidase, and then not anymore proelastase, is elastase. So now we have this. Well, I'm going to write this another color, probably orange. So what is going to come from this chemo? So I'm going to put this one here. So okay, what is going to come from this one and from trypsinogen? Okay, so just follow the arrows. So what is going to come from here? So from trypsin and from the chemotrypsin and carboxypeptidase and elastase, so it's going to bring something. So those are it's going to work in the hereditary proteins, and also in the oligopeptides and amino acids. Okay, so basically this is the purpose of those to work in those oligopeptides and amino acids. Remember that proteins are built with amino acids. Yes, So basically, in a few words, it is important to remember to keep in mind that that trypsin, it is very important for the conversion of to work with those amino acids, proteins, and oligopeptides. So yeah, so basically is that part of the process of the pancreatic enzyme activation. Okay, so this one that was here, the pancreatic enzyme activation. Okay, let's continue with more info about pancreatic enzymes. Okay, so what else we can talk about the pancreatic enzymes? Okay, so I'm going to write it there. So remember all those that we mentioned before. So but there are two enzymes that are not that doesn't come from the pancreas, which is amylase and lipase. So pancreatic enzyme, with the exception of amylase and lipase. Okay, so remember we start to produce like amylase in our salivary glands in our mouth. Okay, now those pancreatic enzymes, where are they synthesized? So they are synthesized and secreted in an active form. Okay, to protect the pancreas from autodigestion. Okay, so this is basically the main purpose. So they protect the pancreas from what? From autodigestion. Okay, yeah, so which is very important to keep in mind. Now these enzymes, so the proenzymes, so as we saw here, so for example this one but the proenzymes zymogens are then activated by trypsin and the duodenal lumen, so that as we saw here, okay, there, okay. And also after trypsinogen is converted into the active form trypsin by the action of the duodenal enterokinases, as we saw here, and the activation of the enterokinase. Okay, now yeah, so then also trypsin can activate other trypsin molecules, so therefore even small amounts, it can result in an activation cascade. Okay, now because trypsin's central role in the activation of pancreatic digestive proenzymes, multiple protective mechanisms exist to limit the amount of trypsinogen that becomes prematurely activated. Okay, let's just talk about those. Yeah, so what are those that you can? Yeah, so one of those is serine peptidase inhibitor Casal type 1, so abbreviate SPINK. Okay, SPINK 1. S is for serine. Okay, so S is, I'm going to write it here. S is for serine. P is for peptidase, so serine peptidase. I is for inhibitor, and then K is inhibitor. I mean K is for Casal, and then we already know which is type 1. Well, so this one is secreted by the pancreatic acinar cells. Okay, so we'll show you here a picture of the pancreatic acinar cells. Okay, so here you can see the duodenum. Okay, so the pancreas and the duodenum, and yeah, so here, you know, pancreatic duct, and then if we take a better view, so this one is the acinar cells, which is going to be the acinar cells secrete the pancreatic enzymes into the pancreatic duct. So basically they secrete. Okay, so they secrete, what do they secrete? They secrete the pancreatic enzymes that we saw before. Okay, enzyme. So when I think in acinar cells, I think in secretion of the pancreatic enzyme. So let's just move on. Well, yeah, so why I was showing that, because so this serine peptidase inhibitor casal type 1, so this it is secreted by the pancreatic acinar cells and functions as trypsin inhibitor. So it is important because this one it is secreted by acinar cells, as we saw in the picture, and also helps for the function is basically stop, or it is an inhibitor of what? Of the trypsin. So remember that is very important that we don't keep running all the time this trypsin that is there. Okay, so we need to stop, because this is in our body how that works. So we produce, we stop, because it needs to be a balance, otherwise it can go crazy. Okay, now let's just continue. So this one, it impedes the activity of trypsinogen molecules that become prematurely activated within the pancreas. Okay, now in addition to that, to functioning as its own activator, trypsin can serve its own inhibitor. Okay, so also trypsin serve as an own inhibitor. Okay, okay. Yeah, how this is going to be how trypsin is going to serve also as its own inhibitor. So it is easy, just check it out. We're going to do it right now. Okay, so by cleaving the active trypsin molecules at a second site. Okay, so basically it's going to have a cleaving. Okay, cleaving the active trypsin. So this cleaving active trypsin molecules at a second site. Okay, so basically you do that, and then it's going to be inactivated. Now, and then it's going to rendering them inactive. Okay, now I would like to so probably I would like to show you something, but probably you're thinking, okay, all this information is so interesting, I like it, I'm enjoying and everything, but I want to know some more. Okay, so let's just do some more here. So I'm going to open a new slide, and now we're going to be talking about hereditary pancreatitis. Okay, so what it is, so how that's happened, or where it come from. Okay, so hereditary pancreatitis, first, it is, we already know that patient is going to be itis, inflammation of the pancreas, and hereditary because it's inherited. Okay, we figured out this just reading it. I just mentioned just to mention it. Okay, hereditary pancreatitis, this is the poor that I'm going to have a couple here. It's a rare disorder. Okay, it's not the common, it's rare disorder. So as we already know, if it's genetic, so it's going to be a mutation in where? So involving the trypsinogen. Oh, there is a mutation. Okay, so this mutation can go to two places. So one is so involving the trypsinogen, or involving the SPINK1. So the SPINK stands for serine peptidase inhibitor casal type 1. So serine peptidase inhibitor casal pen. Okay, now also let's see what else. So the most common mutation leads to the production of abnormal trypsin. Okay, so what is going to result? So in abnormal trypsin. Okay, so and if we remember, trypsin basically it's here in this process. So to help for the digestion of the proteins, oligopeptides, and amino acids. Okay, also is going to work there with the chymotrypsin, which is right here. Okay, now and carboxypeptidase elastase. Well, if you have this abnormal trypsin that is not susceptible, let's just come back here. This abnormal trypsin that is not susceptible to inactivating cleavage by trypsin. Okay, as we mentioned here, the cleavage in the previous slide. Well, when we're talking about this one, okay, this one. Now, because a small amount of trypsinogen normally activates prematurely within the pancreatic acini and ducts, these protective mechanisms are critical for preventing recurrent attacks of acute pancreatitis. So, in a few words, so if the patient has acute pancreatitis, because the patient has a rare disorder, because the patient can have a mutation in the trypsinogen on the SPINK1, which is the serine peptidase inhibitor casal type 1. So, and then the production of the abnormal trypsin that is the patient going to have, but that is something critical that the patient should have. So, for the preventing of the recurrent attacks of the acute pancreatitis, so you need to a small amount of trypsinogen that normally is going to activate prematurely within the pancreatic acini and the ducts. So basically, so what is going to help? So an activation or a prematurely activation, okay? So prematurely activation and then within the pancreatic ducts, and this is going to prevent the recurrent attacks of the pancreatitis, okay? Attacks of recurrent pancreatitis. So what is going to happen? This just to close with close with this help. So this is going to happen in the pancreatic acini, of course. Also in the ducts, okay, and ducts. Okay. So I think that basically it is important that we keep in mind that this is something that is inherited. So and yeah, so just follow them basic recommendations. Probably then I think the high protein diet shouldn't be very helpful for this kind of patients, because if you have an activation of the trypsin, who is going to help you to do this? All those things, amino acid, proteins, all those things. But that doesn't mean that we're going to say to a patient, don't take any amino acid, because remember the essential amino acid that we need, okay? Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we can continue learning and trusting in the Lord Jesus Christ, because we can do all things through Christ in us. And thank you. God bless you.